Hello, and welcome to the Happy Hour. I'm your host, and if you're watching me, that means I'm happy. It's our second week back, and we're getting right back into the swing of things, so let's jump right in. But first, we need something to sip on. That's why this week's drink is the Red-Headed Slut. I can say that because it's a drink. First of all, you should never turn your back on a bottle of Jaeger. But if you do find yourself in that kind of situation, try turning it into a red-headed slut before it turns you into someone else's prison bitch. First, you're going to need to give that Jaeger a stern look and grab some peach schnapps and cranberry juice. Ice your mixer and add 1 part of the Jaeger, 1 part of the schnapps, and 2 parts of the cranberry juice. Give it a vigorous shake with a firm grip and... What the fuck? Pour up, add some ice, spin on a lime wedge, thumbs on the table, and that is a red-headed slut. It kind of tastes like that person you accidentally made out with at the bowling alley that one time. You know the one. Do keep in mind that this is still Jaeger. So please, drink responsibly. Our top story this week, Edge returns to the WWE. That's right, shocking many fans last week at the Royal Rumble. Edge came out at number 20-something, and it blew the absolute roof off of the place. Though it had been teased on Twitter and in many kind of social circles running around the wrestling world, we were all shocked to see him that soon. Most people kind of expected it was going to be at the Super Showdown coming up. More on that later. Edge has actually, it seems, been signed to a 3-year, $3 million contract, and he's kicking it off right away with a feud with Randy Orton. Though fans with a sharp eye may have noticed that it had been teased in certain Twitter posts and certain kind of social rumblings, most fans expected that it would be held off for a larger show such as WrestleMania or possibly the Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. Vince loves those Saudis. Have you heard they're talking about Hulk Hogan being at the next Super Showdown? I guess that means they won't have Big E. Not only surprising fans at Royal Rumble, Edge has actually been signed on for a 3-year, $3 million contract to keep appearing with the WWE. Though not wrestling as frequently as other talent, I think it's at least 5 appearances, maybe a year, maybe through the whole thing. I don't know. It's all good and I like it. The thing that was worrying me is seeing Edge come in with his previous neck injuries. Now, he's had 9 years to recover, and I'm sure he's had lots of surgeries. But I was like, okay, it'll be cool as long as they take care of Edge. What was the first thing they did? They smashed his head between 2 chairs the next Monday night. Okay, all right, cool, okay, all right. Yeah, I'll be fine as long as he takes care of his neck. Now, while fans everywhere online are rejoicing, the big question is it going to translate for ratings for the WWE? And it seems the answer is absolutely fucking not. Because our next story is, holy shit, WWE, what are you doing? How's that for a transition? Yes, folks, apparently this week, WWE suffered a DEFCON 5 Vinnie Mac meltdown. Oh shit! Billions lost! Stocks plummeting! People are rioting in the street! It's like they brought back Russo! Yeah, the trouble all started earlier this week when WWE announced the sudden departure of George Barrios and Michelle Wilson, the Chief Financial Officer and Chief Revenue Officer of the WWE, also named co-presidents in 2018. The statement issued by the WWE contained the phrases differing views on our strategic plans going forward or something like that. I'm not great with legalese. Basically what it means is fired, shit canned, future endeavored. In response to the announcement, WWE stock absolutely fucking tanked. It went down 20% in 1 day. That's over $1 billion of valuation in the company lost. Like that. I mean, how does the stock shit work anyway? How do you lose $1 billion in a day? Just because people are like, I don't know. This all comes as 3 very interesting things are about to happen, which brings us to our next story. It's the same fucking story. This is a really big story. Also coming out this week is WWE's 2019 financial report, which by all inside information seems to be bad. T-shirt sales are down, ticket sales are down, attendance is down, the network subscriptions are down. By all measures, WWE is not exactly making the kind of money that they seem to convince their investors that they would be. I mean, somebody's taking a fall and it ain't gonna be Vince, you know? Another factor is that XFL launches next Sunday. Trying to pick up some football fans who want to get an extra football kick after Super Bowl is over, Vince McMahon is kicking off that huge multi-billion-dollar product in just a week. And many are suspecting that the split in the company is caused by Vince investing money into the XFL, which brings us to our third interesting thing happening this week. Vince is getting sued. I mean, he's getting sued a lot. It's kind of like, well, who else is suing him? The Oklahoma Firefighters Fund, proud owners of about $6,500 of WWE stock, have levied a lawsuit against Vince McMahon, alleging that he may be spending too much time and attention and money into the XFL to properly maintain the WWE, which, as you remember, is a publicly owned company, meaning it has a board of directors and stockholders and shareholders that is basically like beholden and required to do things that bring money back to the investors and the shareholders. If they're not making money for them, the shareholders can sue them, I think. Is that right? You're not a lawyer. Why am I talking to you? The lawsuit also raises allegations that Vince McMahon is, how did they put that here? Engages in transactions that are in conflict with WWE's interest. Basically, they say Vince McMahon is an old man and he's running the company poorly. They've also raised NXT's success on Wednesday nights as an example that Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, is better at running WWE than Vince McMahon is. Now, however, Vince McMahon has decreed that he is going to die in the chair. So as far as he's concerned, all of his investors can go straight to hell. But when that happens, we see what happened this week. $1 billion lost in a day. And at the same time as Vince McMahon is trying to launch a multi-billion-dollar football league, a competitor to a scrappy young contender to the new reigning champions. They're not going to be champions. But AEW, Vince is spinning a lot of plates right now, and it looks like he's about to drop a couple. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, WWE is not going to fall. I've said this before, I'll say it again. But we're going to be about to lose a shitload of money. So the next year is going to be an interesting year to see how WWE manages to stay afloat when there's competition in the water. Now, being that all this just came out this week, and it was only Friday that WWE dropped 20% of their stock, this is still a developing situation. So we'll be back with next week on more news of WWE's DEFCON 5 Vinnie Mac meltdown. Stop the sirens, stop the sirens. This drink is not that great. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it has Jaeger in it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that about does it for me this week. I have been your host, Happy. It is a pleasure to come to you every week and give you the biggest news from the wrestling world. But do come back next time and see us at the same time, same old channel. Give us a like and a share if you care. You can catch my Twitter handle down there. Sometimes I tweet live wrestling shows. Here's my Instagram handle right here. Sometimes I post pictures. My editor, the Macho Huck, also does the same thing. You can catch his Twitter stuff here and here. I'm giving him a little bit of extra work. We'll see you guys next week. If you got any stories you'd like to see covered on the next episode of the Happy Hour, do let us know in the comments. And as always, drink responsibly.